so now where we're at right now, okay, so where we're at in this whole grand scheme of things, the big charade that's going on, when do you think people are going to be starting to be taken down and like really taken down to where the public knows it? When do you think this is all going to start happening? January, February, March? I've heard maybe
No,
April.
I think it'll be before Christmas, and I think next week we'll start to see names.
Sorry, my dogs wanted to interrupt.
You have to understand that if you're in the know, I know that every single member of parliament in the United Kingdom is under house arrest right now. Nothing in mainstream media.
No. So what's going on with mainstream media? When are we going to take them down? I mean,
they're the last ones to go down, and Trump is exposing them. You know, he had to have the election go this far to expose Biden as an absolute thief and a robber and a wrong'un, as we call it in our world, a wrong'un.
So we have to let the thief leave the store.
Yeah, exactly right. So he's having to let them hang themselves. The public on their side, on the other side, wouldn't believe him otherwise. And these people are willing to vaccinate, carry on make you wearing masks, carry on the bullshit lie of COVID-19, carry on the bullshit of 5G and everything. They're quite willing to pump this out. He's letting them do it so he can expose them for what they are. Because all of these governments, look, we're into Nasara already. He announced it on the 2nd of November. We're already started. It's already done. Now, one of the first things to do is to take us back to common law and what he called constitutional law. And they'll wake up to the fact they don't have a job because their job is under maritime or admiralty law.
Right.
And he's just exposing them. So when the penny drops, oh shit, we're now going to need a new leadership. And they're all left out in the cold because their role is over. And if anybody chooses any ex-political candidate to run for them, they need to see a brain surgeon because these people are corrupt, evil people that we don't want to have anything to do with. And hopefully most of them will be executed for treason anyway because they've all been involved.
So let's say like these major players or the faces, okay? Because the deep state is deep. You got AOC, you got here in El Paso, you got Escobar, you got Beto O'Rourke. I'm assuming all these people will be taken down as well.
Yep, of course they will.
Yeah.
Of course, 100%.
And even mayors and the city reps that been pushing these mandates, these unconstitutional mandates, they're going to be taken out as well, right?
And this is why he's letting them expose themselves so that they can be taken out. He'll let them hang themselves.
This is shocking. I mean, it's not shocking. I mean, that's hundreds and thousands of people, Charlie, that are going to be going down. I mean, if you can do the math, but it looks like to me that this is going to be, I mean, are they going to do a one fell swoop and come in and take everybody, or is it going to be?
Just remember how you play chess.
Okay. But I mean, are these people going to have to go to court and
they'll have the choice in Guantanamo Bay, a military trial. They'll be shown their indictments and they'll be shown the evidence. They have a right of appeal. So far, nobody has appealed. So far.
So so are these people just clueless? Like the people that Biden's picked for his cabinet, are they just lost and dumb? Like, are they like
they are
like,
arrogant? They're arrogant beyond belief because they don't think. Biden never dreamt in a million years that the cabal and the deep state would be taken down. He thought they thought they were the mafia. They can control everything.
Right, it's arrogance.
They're arrogant.
Symbology and arrogance,
Yeah.
They've said that symbology will be their downfall, but arrogance, obviously, pride cometh before the fall.
Exactly.
And that happened to me. I can speak on my own. The only 2 fights I lost, Charlie, was when I was completely overconfident.
Yep.
Before that, every fight I ever went into when I was 36-0, I was terrified to death.
Yeah.
I was terrified. They had to kick me through the ropes to get in there and fight. I didn't want to fight. And I'd go in there and then it would just turn on and boom, knock them out. Yeah. And but the 2 fights I lost was obviously I was overconfident and I was they came in under the radar. And I think that's what's happening now. I think they've completely underestimated Trump.
They have, and it's at their peril because this isn't just Trump. I pointed out on the show earlier, this has been planned for a very, very long time, and Trump is chosen by God, not by man. He's been chosen by God. And if you look at his pathway, his great-grandfather, his middle name is Christ.
Oh, wow. Okay.
His mother's middle name is Christ. The pathway was predetermined long before he was born.
I can agree with that. And here, there's going to be a lot of people watching this right now, and they'll say this, and this is what I've gotten already. Dave, this is all written in the Bible. This is the apocalypse. Trump can be the Antichrist. The Satan's supposed to win. This is the apocalypse. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I believe they're following a script, the deep state. They're following this apocalyptic manual, this on the Bible that says it has to end this way. That way people don't question it. They just submit.
And evil, Satan, he has to make it look the same as good to try and attract people to it. And there's so many things that evil has done to try and the New World Order tried to match the financial reset by doing their own thing, which was completely and utterly corrupt. And they try and do these things so that, oh, it's the Antichrist. Oh, it's this, it's that, it's the other. What you have to do, and this is where you have to, I've said it a million times. If you believe in God, ask him, set your moral compass. If you believe in God, ask him to help you. If you believe in Allah, ask him to help you. If you don't believe in anyone, ask your mum or your grandma. Get your moral compass accurate. Take the information given to you from every aspect and trust your intuition and trust your judgment. And that's what we haven't done. There's been so many jellyfish and weak, wishy-washy, pathetic people that haven't made decisions, who haven't stood up for what's right, and haven't been able to break things down and understand what truth is. You and I, when we found the truth, found happiness and found peace.
Absolutely. What about the people that are behind the scenes, Charlie, that aren't the faces? Like we see the faces as Clinton, Kerry, Obama, all these people. We know that these faces will be taken down. But what about the people that we don't see? Are they taken down already? And then we're waiting to, or are we going to get them? Or are we going to come around the back and get them? He
started at the bottom and he worked up. So all the little names, we didn't know who they were. But they've been given the choice to cooperate or it's the end. So
why is the mainstream not cooperating? I mean, they're controlled by these names, these big names. Like, why aren't they cooperating?
They're part of the deep state. They're part of the problem.
Right.
There's only 6 people.
They know they're in deep shit.
Yeah.
Why aren't they cooperating? Why aren't they saying, hey, look, you know what? I heard this guy went down, that guy's going down. I think it's time we change our tune.
Well, if you look at life, and it's a bit like a rat when it's cornered. They just go on the attack. They feel they've got nothing to lose. They've got this arrogance. They're just going to go all out attack. And that's what we're seeing. And
it's almost like they overplay their cards.
Yeah,
they just keep overplaying it, and that's what gets them. And Trump knows that. So Trump kind of takes a step back. It's kind of like fighting somebody, and then they just let him throw their wad, and then it's over.
When you've beaten a fighter and he's still throwing haymakers.
Yeah.
They're dangerous.
You block cover, you just get calm and relax, get inside, and then that's it. You take him out.
Exactly right. Just catch him in the ribs a few times. Take the wind out of him.
Start playing with him. It's like a Mayweather. You start playing with him, let him miss a little bit. Boom, boom, bam, bam. It's the way it is. That's what you do. And I see this as a boxing match. And I see Trump. It's almost like he was Ali and Foreman in the rope-a-dope. Like he was taking the beating, touching him a little bit, taking the beating, touching him, and then boom.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Right.
That's exactly what he's doing. And as well as I do, there's times when you've got a boxer beaten and you just think, why don't you give up? Because I'm about to knock you out.
Right.
And they're still throwing these little punches, little bunny punches, if you like, thinking they're still in the fight. But one good punch will take him out. And it's almost like a game now where they're throwing these little punches and he's letting them do it. And then sooner or later, he'll just take their legs out.
Well, Sugar Ray Robinson said, I got to dress him up before I take him out.
That's right.
You got to dress him up. I got to dress him up before I take him out.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what's happening.
And so, yeah, I mean, this is just where it's at. It's such a phenomenal time to be alive. I tell everybody, this is the great, they're saying they're pushing on television, all the propaganda, the great reset, but it's also the great awakening.
Of course it is.
And they both need one another. In order to have the great awakening, you have to have the great reset. So people you got to see them expose themselves. It's just unfortunate and very sad that some people are not seeing this. Like, they're missing the greatest show on earth.
Yeah. And Donald Trump's reset is nothing like the New World Order reset, nothing like it at all. When you strip it down, they're completely different. But the New World Order's reset is made on the outside to look the same, but it's absolutely nothing like it. I mean, it's evil.
Now, I've heard that Trump is going to restructure the government. He's going to bring in Nasara Jassara, right? Is he going to step down from the presidency after a few years?
He's already stepped down between you and I.
What's that?
He's already stepped down between you and I.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, well, when he issued Nasara on the 2nd of November, part of the Nasara deal is you have to step down. And if you notice, on the 2nd of December, on all the mainstream social media, his title disappeared as president and became political candidate. That was him.
The same with Biden, though.
Sorry? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Trump
is. So why is he going to be sworn in on the Bible when coming January 20th? Then what does that mean?
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens there, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, because the one thing that's lovely at the moment, and this is something for you to hang on to, in the middle of this game of chess, let's say he's the white pieces against the black pieces, just for argument's sake.
Okay.
At the end of the game, you've taken all the black pieces off, but you've also sacrificed a number of white pieces to win.
Right.
And this is where sometimes you have to open your mind and go, why has he kept him and her and this there? He's using these pawns to help win the game. He may have to sacrifice them.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's very interesting.
It's five-dimensional chess.
He's had to have known. I mean, and then the executive order he signed in 2018 about foreign interference. I mean, he saw all of this coming. This was all engineered. It's almost like he walked him into this dance.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly what he did.
He walked him right into it.
Yep. Every single trap he set for them, they walked straight in and jumped in with both feet. Every single one.
So would you say that Trump masterminded this, or were there people behind him?
People behind him. The people behind him have masterminded it.
Is one of them Flynn, or is Flynn just a strong component to this?
No,
is there other people
Flynn is 100% involved in the planning of this. Flynn, John Dunham, they're at the head of it. Powell, there's so many people that are part of this team behind. This has been so carefully planned out. It's done with military precision, and there will be no mistakes without any exception. And they've covered every single base for every single eventuality.
Man, it's just amazing to see, to witness this, to be alive to watch this, Charlie. I'm just awestruck at all this. I've never lost faith. I've never wavered from what I believe. I just talked to one of Bannon's people today, a good friend of mine. I'll leave his name out, but he told me, he's like, "You're coming with me to the inauguration." I'm like, "You're damn right I am."
Oh, sure.